Hi everyone! I'm here today with a review, another review, my second review on this channel, and this time it is on A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. This is a very popular book and I didn't read it when everyone else was reading it because I never was interested in it, but then at some point I decided to pick this book up and read it. You probably all know what this book is about, but if you don't, by any chance, I will tell you what it's about. It's about a boy named Connor and a monster. This monster shows up at midnight and Connor is expecting a very scary monster from his nightmares, which he started having after his mother started taking her treatment. But this monster is different. It is something ancient, something wild, and it wants the truth from Connor. Now, this book was published in 2012, and I believe the first time it was published it was 2011. It was published by Walker Books. Let's talk about the cover. The cover of this book is really dark and it really gives you the atmosphere of the book. So the book itself is really like dark and depressing, I would say. So it really just reflects the atmosphere of the book. I can't really say that I like the cover as much though. Not my favorite. This book is set in small chapters. Some of the chapters are about the monster when the monster comes to Connor, and the other chapters are like from real life, from the daylight. And to be honest, those chapters from real life, they were too depressing for me, too dark. I'm personally not a fan of such things because they make me so sad and depressed myself. And so I liked the chapters about the monster so much more because they sort of put you in a different world when everything is different, like magical. You forget about reality. And also this book is full of illustrations, full of pictures. They're all black and white and some of them are full-paged, like this, or like this, and some of them are just small bits on each page, but not every single page has pictures. Like this one, for example, doesn't. And these pictures, they really create a very vivid image of the story. They sort of engross you in the story a lot more. I spent minutes looking at some of the pictures because they were really good and I wanted to see every single detail of every single picture. That was interesting for me. And they also help creating the atmosphere of the book. They aren't scary pictures, but they are dark and sort of depressing. I would say that this is a very easy, quick read. Now let's talk about the main character. Connor is, I think he's 13 years old. And obviously he's dealing with many things. He's very angry from time to time, which is understandable in his situation. He barely talks to anyone. He feels alone. He feels almost abandoned. There are also 3 boys who are bullying him, which doesn't help his situation. Also, he's got this nightmare, which is only revealed towards the end. He's hiding it. He doesn't want to think about it because it scares him, makes him feel guilty or something. To be honest, I felt sympathy for him only towards the end of the story. I don't really know why. It just didn't touch me as much. Now let's talk about the monster. He's my favorite character from the book because he's just interesting and unique, let's say. It's not really a monster as you would imagine. It's something different. It really is something ancient, something wild, but Connor sees him as a monster because it just looked scary, but it's not really a monster. And this monster wants the truth from Connor, which is only hidden in his nightmare. I like the monster and his tales that he says because they are very different from any other tales. They have different morals in them and they are more real. To be honest, I can't really say that this book was amazing or outstanding for me. I still enjoyed it, but it wasn't something like completely new, completely unique for me, so that adore it as many people did. I know that it is a very, very popular book and many people love it. I am not one of those people, to be honest. I still liked it, but not too much. Yeah, it usually happens to me when the book is very, very popular. When I read it, it's nothing really outstanding for me, like a 3-4 star read, nothing, not much more. But I do tend to like books which are less popular, but I love them so much more than many other people. I'm different in that. I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's just what it is. I especially liked reading this book at night, because it is that like dark and you forget about the world, you're completely engrossed in the story, but it is really depressing, as for my taste. Really depressing, too depressing. I'm not a fan of such things in books because just no. It is dark in a good way. It is not scary at all. Originally I gave this book 3.5 stars, but now I think it's more closer to 3 stars for me. Like I said, nothing too outstanding, nothing too completely out of the blue, but it was interesting, quick read, sort of unique at the same time, but I'm just not one of those people who just completely adore this book. So now I'm going to go into a bit of a spoilery section, just a couple of moments. So if you haven't read this book and you don't want to be spoiled, you should stop watching now. Connor's nightmare. Considering how guilty he felt throughout the whole book, how scared he was of his nightmare, I expected the nightmare to be something much more complicated. But after this nightmare was revealed, I finally felt sympathy for Connor, because I realized what he felt, why he felt that way and everything else. And I completely understood him, because it's so much understandable. He's just a boy and this situation happens. He can't really cope with it. So it is only understandable that he wants it just to be over. He obviously doesn't want his mother to die, but he also can't really stand the waiting of her to die, because it's just continuing and it's killing him probably. He feels lonely, abandoned. Nothing good happens in his life for a while because of the situation that he's going through. He barely has any friends, anyone to talk to. Even the situation with his father, that he's got his own family, and the situation with his grandmother, that she's not very close to him. His mother is basically someone who's very close to him, and he's losing her now. It's sad. It is really sad. Also, I liked the monster tales. They were really different, and he would punish the people who Connor would think that were good people, and he would save the people who Connor would think they were bad people. But in the monster's mind, it was completely different. So in his tales, the people aren't divided into good people and bad people. All the people are somewhere in the middle, and that is real, because in real life no one is really good, completely 100% good or 100% evil. So I liked that aspect in this book. Yeah, I don't really think I have anything else to talk about in the spoiler section of this book, or about anything else. I think I've said everything I wanted to. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this book, if you read it, or if you're planning to read, because I'm one of those people who read it very late. Thank you for watching. Bye!